7 miles beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, there is a place where the pressure is more than 1,000 times greater than what you feel right now. The temperature hovers just above freezing. Not a single photon of sunlight has reached the bottom in millions of years. According to every biological textbook ever written, complex life should be impossible here. In 2021, China sent a submersible called Fendouzhe to find out what was actually down there. What they found has not been fully explained. Fendouzhe, which translates as striver, is one of the most advanced deep-sea submersibles ever built. Equipped with robotic arms, sample baskets, and cameras capable of transmitting live footage from the bottom of the world, it made 33 dives to Challenger Deep, the deepest point in the Mariana Trench, between August and November 2021. Challenger Deep sits 10,900 meters below the surface. That is nearly 7 miles straight down. The pressure at that depth is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level, equivalent to the weight of roughly 50 jumbo jets pressing down on every square meter of your body. The submersible collected hundreds of samples, sediment, seawater, and living organisms, covering depths from 6,000 meters all the way to the bottom. 3 research papers published simultaneously in the journal Cell in 2025 revealed what those samples contained. More than 7,000 microbial species, 89% of them entirely new to science. The first thing Fendouzhe's lights revealed at the bottom was not empty darkness. It was life. Scattered across the seafloor like strange alien cities were fields of xenophyophores, single-celled organisms that grow up to 4 inches long, making them among the largest individual cells known to exist on Earth. Most cells require a microscope to see. These are large enough to trip over. If you were to fill the space of one with average-sized human cells, you would need approximately 100 billion of them. A single cell, the size of your fist. Moving through the darkness were shrimp-like creatures called amphipods, specifically Hirondelia gigas, a species that can grow up to 2 inches long, making them giants among their kind. These animals have no business being here. Normal amphipods begin to fall apart below 4,500 meters as the crushing pressure and acidic conditions dissolve their shells. Hirondelia gigas solved this problem in a way that reads like science fiction. They make their own armor out of aluminum. By consuming metal-rich sediment from the ocean floor and combining it with chemicals in their gut, they produce aluminum hydroxide gel, a protective coating that covers their entire exoskeleton and shields them from the pressure that would destroy any other creature of their kind. Scientists confirmed this in a peer-reviewed study published in PLOS One. These animals evolved to use the most hostile environment on Earth as a source of raw materials. The deeper mystery is not just what lives down there, it is what they eat. At the surface, almost all life depends on sunlight. Plants convert solar energy into food through photosynthesis. Everything else eats the plants or eats something that did. It is the foundation of almost every ecosystem on Earth. In Challenger Deep, there is no sunlight. There has never been sunlight. And yet, there is an entire ecosystem thriving at the bottom. The base of this food web is chemosynthetic bacteria, microorganisms that derive energy not from light, but from chemical reactions. They consume inorganic compounds like hydrogen sulfide, methane, and ammonia, and convert them into organic matter. They have built an entire food chain that runs entirely on chemistry instead of sunlight. Life, it turns out, does not need our star to thrive. It needs energy, and it will find energy wherever it can. The organisms themselves have evolved biochemistry that should not be possible. They produce molecules called piezolites, including a compound called TMAO, that stabilize their proteins and cellular structures under crushing pressure. They modify their cell membranes to prevent rigidity at near-freezing temperatures. Their enzymes have been restructured at the molecular level to function normally in conditions that would destroy any enzyme produced on the surface. Evolution, given enough time and enough pressure, apparently finds a way. When the Fendouze's sample containers were opened back at the surface, the research team found something that stopped them, mixed into the sediment, embedded in the bodies of creatures that had never seen sunlight. Fragments of human civilization. Microplastics, tiny fragments produced by the breakdown of plastic items, had been detected in the sediment of Challenger Deep and within the bodies of its organisms. A peer-reviewed study published in Royal Society Open Science confirmed that over 72% of amphipods examined from 6 deep ocean trenches, including Challenger Deep, contained at least one microplastic particle in their gut. The number of particles per individual ranged from 1 to 8. A separate study found up to 2,200 pieces of microplastic per liter of sediment from the Mariana Trench, concentrations that rival heavily polluted coastal waters. These particles were not drifting randomly. They were being actively transported downward through ocean currents, carried by sinking organic matter, and concentrated at the bottom of the deepest place on Earth. The aluminum-armored amphipods, the ones that had mastered surviving the most hostile environment on the planet, were feeding on microplastic fragments alongside their normal diet. The creatures in the deepest, most remote place on Earth are carrying the signature of human civilization in their bodies. The implications of what Fendouzhe found at Challenger Deep go beyond marine biology. If complex, thriving ecosystems exist 7 miles beneath the ocean, in crushing darkness, in near-freezing water, running entirely on chemistry rather than sunlight, then the boundaries of where life can exist are far wider than any textbook has ever suggested. Scientists noted immediately what that means for the search beyond Earth. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, and Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, are both believed to contain liquid oceans beneath thick ice shells with similar pressures, similar darkness, and similar chemical energy sources. If life can build an entire ecosystem at Challenger Deep, there is no longer a compelling scientific reason to assume it cannot do the same in those hidden oceans. And yet, in those same samples from the deepest place on Earth, our plastic was already there, already in the bodies of creatures that evolution spent millions of years perfecting for survival in the most extreme environment our planet offers. The abyss was not as isolated as we believed, and what lives inside it was not as impossible as we thought. Hit the notification bell, because the deepest place on Earth was supposed to be empty, and it was waiting for us all along, 7 miles down, life that should not exist, and our fingerprints already on it. Subscribe to Vanished History. The ocean is deeper than they told you.